I am not here to debate with anyone. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Now, normally, I don't do this, and I've pretty much given up beefing, especially with other content creators, because I know I don't want this to keep this stuff going back and forth. And so I'm trying to chill out beef. I'm trying to make this a beefless week. Trying to stay out of this kind of crap, right? But for this particular person, I'm going to make an exception. Normally, dumbass comments, I kind of either delete. Normally, I just delete them, especially if they write me a letter. Just delete them. In other words, it didn't get the point. The response was a dumbass comment, and I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just going to delete it because I don't even want to look at it no more, right? So I just got, finished trying to run a live stream, which YouTube's API screwed everything up with the software I was using with StreamYards. And I spent an hour and a half trying to get it up and running so I could get my weekly hangout with the ladies done. But it was impossible because of YouTube's whatever. And it was basically too late to kind of set up something similar on OBS or something else because nothing else was really working except OBS. Even the webcam feature wasn't. Go figure. It's YouTube and whatever they use. Okay, so I'm finishing up my night and I'm reading this bullshit. Okay, from Bryce Word. So I'm gonna read this thing. Maybe even scroll down so you guys can get a snapshot of it. And I'm gonna make my response, which is something I don't normally do. But for you, brother, today I'm gonna make an exception. BGS, I find this video to be most perplexing. He's talking about the one I did about why black women especially, get their unrealistic expectations, basically. I find this video to be most perplexing. Use the words of William Marshall, whoever that is. Reason being that you recently did a video about black women walking around with this defeated look on their faces. Oh, boo the who, how glum and sad. The queen has broken her crown and now wants to come back to the negotiating table. You said how shocked you were to see this at this time. I was shocked to see it happen this soon. It's not that I was shocked to see it happen at all. And how things look so hopeful now. Good golly gee whiz. I don't know what this dude's problem is. Now, a few vids later, you need a drink and throw bottles across the room and such because at this moment, black women have lost their minds regarding standards. That's not what number one, that's not what I said. And number two, if you listen to what I said it was so simple. In other words, all this time, black women have been rating us on a standard that that was so simplistic and unrealistic. I thought normal human beings wouldn't do this, but let's continue. But wait, yesterday they were negotiating. Guy, where are you on this? Are you all right? You seem to be hopping from one foot to the next, and I've never seen you do that. To your credit, you had this Kendra person on your video. I don't know her, but she sounded so much better than the other female fools you entertain, but I digress. Seems you're on shaky ground here, sir. So which way are you going? Glum and negotiating, or to hell and be damned? Give me my nigga, because at the end of the day, what the fuck are you talking about? Because at the end of the day, that's all I want. and a mixed baby. Okay? I won't say either video was disingenuous, but you certainly did a complete 180. Your response will be most intriguing, I'm sure. Good night, sir. Okay. Now, I actually replied to him. This is why I do not like putting complex material sometimes on this channel. I really don't. Because people's listening skills are so not up to par. And I have to blame it on the U.S. or the American educational system, because people don't listen anymore. And now, people listen with their feelings instead of with their ears. Now, in the first video, I was saying something. I said something about the defeated look that they had, and saying that I knew that they would come back to the table to negotiate because the economy would force them to do so. And according to my timetable, it wouldn't be for another couple of years. 2021, right around there. So for me to walk around seeing it 2 years earlier, it's surprising to me that they have this look already. And if they have this look already that they've given up hope, that means things are really bad. And normally black women are more resilient than that. So even though things are bad, they still have their chin up. They don't normally walk around with a defeated look. And it's something I have never really seen in black women. Even during the crack era, I never, when the neighborhoods were really fucked up, I didn't see it. But now I'm seeing it. So as an analyst, something that you are not, it's surprising to me that it would happen this soon. That means things are getting worse a lot faster. So basically, I'm saying is, because it's happening in my city, LA is a tougher town. So I'm saying this is my observance. So I'm asking other people around the country, have they seen this? Or do they see this? It's not that I'm feeling so extra sorry for women. I don't hate women. So if women and children are having a tougher time, that means the whole society is going to have a tougher time. I don't mind women being knocked down a peg or two, but the thing is, this is not what I'm talking about. This is overboard. Now, maybe you're one of those people that like to see women suffer. I personally do not. I have daughters. I don't like to. I have daughters, I have sisters, I have mothers. Women suffering is not something I want to see, especially in my society. Now, the second part about what Kendra said that I was pissed off about, I wasn't pissed off about women having standards or whatever it is. I was pissed off that what they based their standards on was so simple that I didn't see it. That adults actually base, especially adult women, actually base their findings or their standard for everybody else on a tiny fraction of people that has nothing to do with their reality. So they don't base their standards on their men or themselves on the person that they see every day, or the man that's across from every day, or the group of men that they run across. As bad as men are, as visual as men can be, they base their expectations on the women that can actually get. And a lot of things as far as black people are concerned, I don't know whether you're white or black. As far as black men are concerned, a lot of things that we've been asking for, cooperation, a little submission, not a whole ton of makeup, especially not a whole head full of weave. And men have been consistent about saying that. At least men that are regular dudes have been consistent about saying that. And women have heard that and have ignored it. But they're not basing what men want or the male counterparts want on what they say. They're basing it on what they think that the top less than 0.1% of black men want. Because those black men want a Beyonce with a lace front weave, or Sierra with a weave and makeup. So they believe that if they can get a weave and put on some makeup, that the man in front of them will want that. And that's not true, even though they know it's not true. So while they're telling black men constantly that this is the scale that we rate you on, that this is what you want because you say that's what you want, this unrealistic scale, that the unrealistic ideal of femininity or relationship is based on a fraction of the guys, a tiny fraction, not what reality is, just a tiny fraction of the guys that you'll never meet, that you'll never get close to, never even be in the company of. And you're painting all of black men with this little tiny brush and then telling these black men this is what they want. Which is why it pissed me off that something so simple, so simplistic and silly for the last 30 years has been painted on black men. And all these magazines and all these videos and all these specials and stuff like that that we see on TV, and all these books that are written about marriage and what they want is bullshit. Because it comes down to just that little bitty thing that they could have said it within that little 15 minutes that Kendra said, boiled it down to and washed away everything else that made more sense. Okay, now we know what we're up against. And all those books that can be thrown out. In the past 20 years of us trying to tear down all these bullshit lies that they've been telling us, boiled down to something so simple. That's why I wanted to throw the bottle across the room. Which is something that I said, but your dumb ass didn't hear it. Because your dumb ass ignored what I said. Because your dumb ass wants to believe what you want to believe. Because you want to believe in the Matrix, just like Cypher does. Y'all keep saying y'all red pill. Y'all keep saying that you guys understand the truth. And y'all keep using the same old blue pill constructs to define your life. Which is interesting. Because I've been saying this for like the last 6 months. Well before the women were going to come back. Because I knew the women were going to come back when the environment changed. When the economic environment changed, I knew all the women were going to have to come back to the table. All of them were going to come back to the table. And what I'm finding out now, what guys really think when pussy's back on the table now. Now it's there. And so all the blue pill programming is starting to come out of men. Which is something that kind of surprised me because for a minute, a lot of you guys had me fooled. I thought y'all was really red pill. I thought y'all was really knew it to the core after it's been preached for so long. And now, you know what? A lot of these programs, all this programming you guys actually agree with. A lot of these constructs you guys actually agree with. And I'm listening for the past month or two and said, damn, what was the whole red pill, MGTOW, all that shit was about? And you guys actually agree with the construct, you agree with the rules. So what are you fussing about? In Bryce's word, it boggles my mind that I spent what? 8 hours explaining shit? Because I said I knew the first one I explained was just asking people, did they see the same thing I was seeing? And the second one was actually, which is something completely different. Explaining what the standards that black women have held out for us over the past 10, 15 years or 20 years, what that shit was actually based on. The mindset that it was based on. Two different things. They're not a 180, they're two different things. But you want to merge them together like I'm hopping from one foot to the next. You putting those two things together means that you never understood what the fuck I was talking about in the first place. You just pretend to. Because we spent the next 6 hours trying to explain it. And basically, that was 6 hours it was just wasted. Because at the end of the day, you didn't understand it anyway. I could have just dropped it and kept moving. And next time I will. You guys get upset about stuff you don't understand, I'm not going to bother coming on trying to explain this stuff no more. Because you're going to believe what you want to believe anyway. So really, there's no real reason for putting up a video. You're going to believe what you want to believe anyway. So why should I bother to even explain stuff? At the end of the day, you're going to have the same mindset still. I'd be better off making slick videos, telling you what you want to hear, the way you want to hear it. Same old stuff that reinforce what you already believe. Get my YouTube advertising back, put my Cash App up, put my PayPal up and get paid so that I can reinforce what you already believe so you can feel better at night. Unfortunately, that's not me, which is why sometimes I think I'm just wasting my time and just wasting my breath. Especially when I get dumbass comments like this. You didn't even understand the video. That's the problem. You're judging something that you don't even understand. Even though it was fairly made simple. Because instead of listening, you're judging it. Instead of listening, they call the people that I bring on fools or female fools, which is really all it is. In other words, when I bring something on, that means there's something that you need to hear. So who's the fool? The person that's actually giving you something you need to hear? Or the fool that can't understand it and see it for what it is? Because in my estimation, sir, you are a fool. I don't know if it's simple ignorance or compound ignorance. Simple ignorance means you just don't know. Compound ignorance means you don't know and you think that you're right. I'm hoping that, sir, that you are the former and not the latter. If you are the former, you can be taught. If you are the latter, there's no hope. But with that, I'm going to bounce off of here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.